beautiful people. That's Waru. Top of the day, Sawubona. Day 171, beautiful people. We are in Isaiah 28, 29, and 30. What sorrow awaits. Sawubona, Sawubona. Yibo, Sawubona, yeah. All right, y'all. It's Friday. Happy Friday, happy Friday. That's Wabu, Sawubona. It is June the 12th, 2020. All right, y'all. I'm gonna hop right to it. Okay. Isaiah 28. Woe to the crown of pride, to the drunkards of Ephraim, whose glorious beauty is a fading flower, which are on the head of the fat valleys of them that are overcome with wine. Behold, Yahuwah hath a mighty and strong one, which is a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing shall cast down to the earth with the hand. The crown of pride, the drunkards of Ephraim, shall be trodden under feet. And the glorious beauty which is on the head of the fat valley shall be a fading flower, and as the hasty fruit before the summer, which when he that looketh upon it seeth, while it is yet in his hand, he eateth it up. In that day shall Yahuwah of hosts be for a crown of glory, and for a diadem of beauty unto the residue of his people, and for a spirit of judgment to him that sitteth in judgment, and for strength to them that turn the battle to the gate. But they also have erred through wine, and through strong drink they are out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink, and they are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision, they stumble in judgment. So we all should know that the prophets and the priests, they should not be drinkers of wine. It causes them to err in their judgment, their thinking, their vision gets blurred. They can't hear clearly, so they would do well to stay away from it completely, forever, for their entire lives. They really should. I'll read that again, verse 7, Isaiah chapter 28. But they also have erred through wine, and through strong drink are out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision, and they stumble in judgment. For all the tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to his people, to whom he said, this is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest, and this is the refreshing, yet they would not hear. But the word of Yahuwah was unto them precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they might go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken. Wherefore hear the word of Yahuwah, ye scornful men that rule this people which is in Jerusalem, because you have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood we have hid ourselves. Therefore thus saith Yahuwah, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste. Judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet. And the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the water shall overflow the hiding place. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. He said, you thought you was going to get away? No, I'm coming for you, directly for you. From the time that it goeth forth, it shall take you, for morning by morning shall it pass over. By day and by night it shall be a vexation only to understand the report. For the bed is shorter than that a man can stretch himself on it, and the covering narrower than that he can wrap himself in it. For Yahuwah shall rise up as in Mount Perazim, he shall be wroth as in the valley of Gibeon, that he may do his work, his strange work, and bring to pass his act, his strange act. Now therefore be ye not mockers, lest your bands be made strong. For I have heard from Yahuwah, the God of hosts, a consumption even determined upon the whole earth. Give ye ear and hear my voice, hearken and hear my speech. Doth the plowman plow all day to sow? Doth he open and break the clods of his ground? When he hath made plain the face thereof, doth he not cast abroad the fitches, and scatter the cumin, and cast in the principal wheat, and the appointed barley, and the rye in their place? For his God doth instruct him to do discretion, and doth teach him. For the fitches are not threshed with a threshing instrument, neither is a cart wheel turned about upon the cumin, but the fitches are beaten out with a staff, and the cumin with a rod. Corn is bruised, because he will not ever be threshing it, nor break it with the wheel of his cart, nor bruise it with his horsemen. So pretty much what he's saying, Betwabu, Trina, what he's saying right here when he's giving these examples of plowing a field, if you read in the other versions, you probably can understand it a little bit better if you kind of. But what he's saying, he only exerts as much strength as necessary for this particular crop. Like, he doesn't overdo. You know how somebody, example, this is kind of like a horrible example, but think about when we went into captivity. They were only supposed to take us for laborers here in this land to build up. But Yahuwah said, you went over and above what I authorized you to do. You beat them. You murdered them, you plundered them, you raped them. He said, don't do that. Use only the force as necessary to get the job accomplished. Don't overdo it. That's pretty much what he's saying. And he also says that he gives the farmer great wisdom, because those of us who are starting a garden now, we're learning a little stuff about life. I mean, we're learning things about life and its growth process, and how you have to constantly tend to your crops. Not constantly, but until they get to a certain point, you have to keep watch over them. You have to make sure they're watered. You have to make sure you're providing pest control, preferably organic pest control, so you don't kill your crops. I've killed a couple crops, and I had to just dig it up and start all over. But even what I had to dig up, I put it in my compost, which I can reuse it. So that's pretty much what he's saying. He's just giving examples, and that's why he brings out. And I think it's in the NLT version, New Living Translation, where it says it here, but it makes it a lot clearer when it says it. I believe it's verse 26 that he said he gives the farmer great wisdom. So I'm like, oh shoot, I really got to really get into this, because there's a lot of things. He always likens Israel and Judah, his people, to a garden, his vineyard and stuff, because you can just teach through that principle of life, the growth cycle. So, okay, y'all, I'm done. All right. Verse 28, I read again. Bread corn is bruised, because he will not ever be threshing it, nor break it with the wheel of his cart, nor bruise it with his horsemen. This also cometh forth from Yahuwah of hosts, which is wonderful in counsel and excellent in working. Isaiah chapter 29. Woe to Ariel, If you didn't know, Ariel is another name for Jerusalem. Like, all of my children are named after prophets, but also Bella. Bella is her middle name, which means beautiful, but her first name is Princess Ariel. Princess is actually a part of her first name, like it's on her social security card. Princess Ariel, but Ariel is another name for Jerusalem. I knew that when we named her. I didn't want to name her Jerusalem, so I was like, what is another name for Jerusalem? It's Ariel, Princess Ariel, the crown. Jerusalem, get it? Okay, so, all right, y'all, I just want to throw that in there for y'all. If y'all didn't know, woe to Ariel, the city where David dwelt. The city where David dwelt is what? Jerusalem, right? Okay. Add ye year to year, let them kill sacrifices. Yet I will distress Ariel, and there will be heaviness and sorrow. And it came unto me as Ariel. And I will camp against thee round about, and I will lay siege against thee with a mount, and I will raise forts against thee. And thou shalt be brought down, and shalt speak out of the ground, and thy speech shall be low out of the dust, and thy voice shall be as one that hath a familiar spirit out of the ground, and thy speech shall whisper out of the dust. Moreover, the multitude of thy strangers shall be like small dust, and the multitude of thy terrible ones shall be as chaff that passeth away, yea, it shall be at an instant suddenly. Thou shalt be visited of Yahuwah of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake, and great noise, with storm and tempest, and flame of devouring fire. Visit his people just like that, with the elements in the earth. And the multitude of all the nations that fight against Ariel, even all that fight against her and her munition, and that distress her, shall be as a dream of a night vision. It shall be even as when a hungry man dreameth, and behold, he eateth, but he awaketh, and his soul is empty. Or as when a thirsty man dreameth, and behold, he drinketh, but he awaketh, and behold, he is faint, and his soul hath appetite. So shall the multitude of all the nations be that fight against Mount Zion. Stay yourselves and wonder. Cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. For Yahuwah hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered. And the vision of all is become unto you as words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed. That's exactly what has been happening with this exact book, and people giving all these interpretations and revelations of it, but they're all blind. They all have been blind. They have been blinded to who even the people were. So they're giving you false prophecies, things that aren't even true, that look like it, but if you look a little closer, you will see, nope, your prophecy is off. You don't even have the right people. You're looking in the wrong direction. This book is sealed to those who don't know Yah. It blows me away. And even when you talk to people who you know are to be believers, and you talk to them, it's like they're looking at you like deer in the headlights, like they can't comprehend it, and it completely blows me away. It's like, and you've been teaching in the church for how long? You can't. That's plain as day. You can't see that? Y'all, it blows me away. Let me read that again. Verse 10, Isaiah chapter 29. For Yahuwah, and I'm talking about big name preachers and some small ones too. Like, it is completely sealed to them. For Yahuwah hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I cannot, for it is sealed. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I am not learned. Wherefore Yahuwah said, for as much as this people draw near to me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men. Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from Yahuwah, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us? Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he hath no understanding? Is it not yet a very little while, and Lebanon shall be turned into a fruitful field, and the fruitful field shall be esteemed as a forest? And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness. The meek shall also increase their joy in Yahuwah, and the poor among men shall rejoice in the Holy One of Israel, which is Yahuwah. Yahuwah is the Holy One of Israel, the mighty One of Israel. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in a gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. Therefore saith Yahuwah, who redeemed Abraham, concerning the house of Jacob, Jacob shall not now be ashamed, neither shall his face now wax pale. But when he seeth his children, the work of my hands in the midst of them, they shall sanctify my name, and sanctify the Holy One of Jacob, and shall fear the God of Israel. Who is the Holy One of Jacob? Jacob is also Israel. It's Yahuwah. Yahuwah is the Holy One of Jacob, or the Holy One of Israel. He said they will revere and fear my name, the Holy One of Israel, Yahuwah. We shall revere and fear his name, nobody else's name. Nobody else's name. They also that err in spirit shall come to understanding, and they that murmur shall learn doctrine. Last chapter for today, Isaiah chapter 30. It's 33 verses, y'all. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahuwah, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. They walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to thrust. And let me read that again. Verse 2. That walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. So pretty much what he is saying is, he said, my people should come to me for wisdom, but they're trusting in Egypt. They're trusting in Pharaoh. Should not you have inquired of me instead of going to Pharaoh? And we kind of see that still happening today. Our people are looking to like our government to do things for us. He said, should you not come to me, the Holy One of Israel? Shouldn't you not inquire of me, and not of Egypt, not of America, not of your governors? Why are you inquiring of them? That go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt? Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. For his princes were at Zoan, and his ambassadors came to Hanes. They were all ashamed of a people that could not profit them, nor be a help nor profit, but a shame and also a reproach. The burden of the beast of the south into the land of trouble and anguish, from whence come the young and old lion, the viper and fiery flying serpent. They will carry their riches upon the shoulder of young asses, and their treasures upon the bunches of camels, to a people that shall not profit them. For the Egyptians shall help in vain, and to no purpose. Therefore I have cried concerning this. Their strength is to sit still. Now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for a time to come, forever and ever, that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of Yahuwah, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak to us smooth things, prophesy deceits, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. Wherefore thus says the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach, ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking comes suddenly at an instant. And he shall break it as the breaking of the potter's vessel that is broken in pieces. He shall not spare, so that there shall not be found in the bursting of it a sherd to take fire from the hearth, or to take water withal out of the pit. For thus saith Yahuwah, the Holy One of Israel, in returning and rest shall ye be saved. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength, and ye would not. Sawu Bona Alishia. But ye said, no, for we will flee upon the horses, therefore shall ye flee, and we will ride upon the swift, therefore shall they that pursue you be swift. 1,000 shall flee at the rebuke of one, at the rebuke of 5 shall ye flee, till ye be left as a beacon upon the top of a mountain, and an ensign upon a hill. And therefore will Yahuwah wait, that he may be gracious unto you, and therefore he will be exalted, that he may have mercy upon you. For Yahuwah is a God of judgment. Blessed are all they that wait for him. For the people shall dwell in Zion at Jerusalem. Thou shalt weep no more. He will be very gracious unto thee. At the voice of thy cry, when he shall hear it, he will answer thee. And though Yahuwah give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner any more. But thine eyes shall see thy teachers, and thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, This is the way, walk ye in it. And when ye turn to the right hand, and when ye turn to the left, He shall defile also the covering of thy graven images of silver, and the ornament of thy molten images of gold. Thou shalt cast them away as a menstruous cloth. Thou shalt say unto it, Get thee hence. Then shall he give thee rain of thy seed, and thou shalt sow the ground withal, and bread of thy increase of the earth, and it shall be fat and plenteous. In that day shall thy cattle feed in large pastures. He's pretty much explaining when our people turn back to him and turn back to his laws and stuff. And he said, then you will see, when you turn back to me, then you will see your teachers, and they will tell you, hey, this is the way. Walk ye in it. Like what we're doing, say, no, we don't worship JC. Follow this way. We worship Yah. Go this way. This is the path to Yah. His laws, his statutes, and command. This is the way. Walk ye in it. You know, and he said all of our graven images and our molten images and all this stuff, he said we will put them away like a woman's menstruous cloth. It's disgusting. What have we been doing? This is the way. Walk ye in it. The oxen likewise, and the young asses that and the young asses that ear the ground shall eat clean provender, which hath been winnowed in the shovel and with the fan. And there shall be upon every high mountain and upon every high hill rivers and streams of water in the day of great slaughter, when the towers fall. Moreover, the light of the moon shall be as the light of the sun, and the light of the sun shall be sevenfold as the light of 7 days. And the day that Yahuwah bindeth up the breach of his people and heal the stroke of their wound. Behold, the name of Yahuwah come from far, burning with his anger, and the burden thereof is heavy. His lips are full of indignation, and his tongue is a devouring fire, and his breath as an overflowing stream shall reach to the midst of the neck, to sift the nations with the sieve of vanity. And there shall be a bridle in the jaws of the people, causing them to err. Ye shall have a song as in the night, when a holy solemnity is kept, and gladness of heart, as when one goeth with a pipe to come into the mountain of Yahuwah, to the mighty one of Israel. And Yahuwah shall cause his glorious voice to be heard, and shall show the lightning down of his arm, with the indignation of his anger, and with the flame of a devouring fire, with scattering and tempest and hailstones. For through the voice of Yahuwah shall the Assyrian be beaten down, which smote with the rod. And in every place where the grounded staff shall pass, which Yahuwah shall lay upon him, it shall be with tabrets and harps, and in battles of shaking will he fight with it. For Tophath is ordained of old, yea, the king it is prepared. Yea, for the king it is prepared. He hath made it deep and large. The pile thereof is fire and much wood. The breath of Yahuwah, like a stream of brimstone, doth kindle it. And that, my beautiful people, is our reading for today. That was Isaiah 28, 29, and 30. It is day 171, Friday, June the 12th, 2020. Let's get on to the blessing, y'all, which is found, y'all know where it is. Numbers chapter 6, verses 22 to 27. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise shall ye bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, May Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon us and give us his peace. And they shall put my name, the name of Yahuwah, upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. All right, beautiful people. I love y'all. I will see y'all bright and early Sunday morning. Enjoy your day of rest. And that is all. I'll see you Sunday morning, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time.